Welcome to Hello Liz, real speech pathology made simple for everyday families.
And what I like to tell my families is it's not me that's making the change here. I'm teaching you what to do at home.
Most parents think speech therapy happens in the clinic, but according to speech pathologist Liz, the real progress happens at home. In this first episode, you'll meet Liz and discover the simple philosophy that has helped hundreds of families support their child's communication. So I thought we might start by just giving a bit of backstory about how you and I came together to form this collaboration on the podcast. We are obviously cousins. Yes. Well, not obviously to anyone who doesn't know us. Yes. I'm a qualified journalist and have worked in radio and television for quite a few decades. What's your background, Liz?
I am a speech pathologist. I have been for, I think, over 20 years. I'd have to check the dates on that, but yeah, coming up to 20 years.
I think we'll believe you, it's okay.
Yeah, that's me. Just work with kids.
Fantastic. We thought we'd join forces and create a podcast that is specifically around paediatric speech pathology. It's a hugely poignant topic. As a mother myself, it's something that you don't know until you need to know it, I suppose. You're a mother of 3. Did you want to tell us about your 3 boys?
Yeah, I have 3 all boys, so it's a busy household in my house. They're 14, 12 and 9. They're gorgeous. They worry me a lot. They're challenging, all of the things. But I feel like I'm through the stage that you're at, like with the younger kids.
Yes.
It's a little bit of we're just on the different end of a developmental spectrum, I suppose, but...
That's right.
Yeah.
And that's great for me because I have a 2.5-year-old and I will be leaning in on your information that you provide.
Yes,
thank you, Liz.
love it.
So just tell me a little bit first about your background and how you got into speech pathology and where you trained and why you were so interested in joining in the first place.
Look, I think coming out of high school, I didn't do speech pathology straight away. I had a whole other career. But later in life, there was just something else I wanted to do. I really wanted to help people, like really help people. And I love kids. I love hanging out with kids and all of the things. And so I applied to the master's program at La Trobe University in Melbourne to do speech pathology. I actually didn't think I would get in because it was quite strategic application, and to my surprise I did.
You're always your own worst critic.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, I studied. It was the most difficult 2 and a bit years of study as a mature age student, I suppose. And I just have not looked back. I absolutely love my job. Even after all these 20 years, like I would never consider leaving. I love working with kids. So as a speech pathologist, you can work in kids or adults as well. So I've always just worked with kids and that's the area that I love. I really enjoy helping families at the young age make some changes and support the development of their child. And then, you know, the best part about it is for me, when I get to discharge the family and go, okay, see you later, you're amazing, off you go. I'm grateful, really grateful to be part of that.
It must be a really rewarding experience when that happens and you see how much of a difference you've made.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, you know, a few times out and about, because my clinic is in the community that I live in, I often run into families and things, you know, at Coles or Woolworths or whatever. And yeah, just to see them in years to come and like they still give me a wave, or if I'm visiting a school and I'm no longer seeing a client, but I'm seeing another client there and the other client would see me and they'll wave to me across. Aww. Like it's beautiful. Yeah, it's really great, really great. It's a great job. I love it.
In saying that, along with the rewarding times, there must be some very challenging times as well. How do you cope with those times yourself and how do you reassure the families that everything's going to be okay?
Yeah, I think there's kind of a 2-part answer to this question. Before I had kids myself, I actually struggled with that a lot when there was really big developmental concerns for some kids that I would see. I just didn't know how to, you know, communicate that to the parents. I just didn't have that experience. But now, like as a mum, I think I cope with it much better because I know my role in this family's life is at this point in time, and this is what I can do to help. I'm not there to fix all of the things. There's probably a lot going on. There's probably lots of professionals that they're seeing. I'm one of those pieces of the puzzle. And I think my thing is the funnest thing, because we just get to play and interact, and I teach the families how to engage and how to make the most of their interactions, and it's fun. Like, I think it's fun.
Yeah, that's good. It's good. You need to love your job.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the families can see how much you love it too, and that would be reassuring for them to know that you're spending that time with their kids and making a difference. And It gives families the confidence too. And I guess that's what is so important about us doing this podcast, is so that there is information available for parents everywhere to know that there's a place they can come, get more information if they're struggling. Because as I said with my son, you just don't know. All of a sudden your little person starts to talk and you don't know what they're supposed to be saying at their different ages, how they're supposed to be saying things, and then you might compare to other kids, and it's very confusing. So I guess this podcast is going to really nail down a few of those things and help to provide strategies to parents. So what kind of things are we going to learn about today, Liz?
I think today what I want to talk to you about is some of the things that I talk to my families over and over and over again, some of the strategies that we work on in my clinic. We're mostly talking about younger kids here.
What kind of age when you say younger kids?
I'm going to say 2 to 5.
Yep.
It can be older. We can use these strategies with all kids, but I'm thinking about...
Targeting kind of preschool age.
Yeah, and we're thinking about the language and interaction targets here. So we're thinking about a kid that might be 2 and not necessarily talking, using as many words as we would expect for a 2-year-old, and not interacting with us socially as we would expect.
Sure.
So that type of thing. Yeah, so this is what I sit down on the floor with my families and talk in day out. I had a client yesterday in the clinic that we did this exact discussion about, and then we've been practicing and working on. So I suppose for those who don't know what a speech pathologist does, is my job is to see what point the child is at in regards to language and communication, and see where we need to go, and then to support the families in doing that. So you might come and see me once a week or once a fortnight in my clinic, and what I like to tell my families is it's not me that's making the change here. I'm teaching you what to do at home, what to do in your daily life that's actually going to make the change. So you, mum and dad, and the family are the most important person in the child's life, and I'm just going to give you my little bits of information that you need to go and do that at home.
Great.
Does that make sense? So
providing the tools for the parents to take home.
Yeah, and to implement themselves. That's kind of what we do as a job.
Yeah, that's great. So where would we start?
So if you arrived at my clinic and you said, here's my son, he's 2 and he's not necessarily talking so much, one of the things...
Could I just ask, how would I know at this stage? Should I be researching how much my son should be saying, or what types of words he should be saying, or do I compare to other kids? How do I kind of gauge the level that he should be at?
Yep. I think as a mum, we naturally compare to the other kids around us, don't we? I would say there's some really great downloadable resources on Speech Pathology Australia website about some milestone things. But what I want mums and dads to know is that there's a big variance in development. Okay, so I might say by 2 you need to have 50 words in your vocabulary to start joining 2 words together. But that's also just a range.
Sure.
Okay, so some kids will get there sooner, some kids will get there a bit later. It doesn't necessarily mean there's anything wrong. So there's a range of everything. So just because your child isn't doing something at a certain age, I don't want people to panic. It's just something to consider.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just rough benchmarks.
Rough guidelines, yeah.
Sure.
So I would have a look on Speech Pathology Australia website. And then also, I actually think mums and dads just have an intuitive knowledge of their child, right?
Yeah.
And they just know. Quite often parents will come and say, I've been thinking about this for a while. There's something just not quite right. I'm not quite sure. But that's kind of what I'm here for, for you to come. And you might come to my clinic with your child and I'll say, we're good here. Off you go. He's doing this. I'm not worried. Off you go. And that sometimes happens. Yeah. And then other times it's something that we need to work on and support them through.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Thanks for your valuable insights today, Liz.
Thanks, Sarah.
In the next episode, we start with the big question every parent has. What do I actually do if I'm worried about my child's speech?